Thank you so much.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy, man.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Drive safe. Figured I should maybe talk about how I'm doing this. So what I've got is this step bit. And so it's kind of notched every so often for different measurements. And so what I did is that drilled a very clean hole. I just drilled it so it wasn't open enough to fit one of these rib nuts. And so what I did was make sure that that fit in there. Doesn't matter if it's super loose, that's fine. So then what you gotta do is you get one of these super cool rivet gun things, rivet nut things, and you screw that onto the top. Oop. Make sure it's open first. So open it all the way, screw it all the way on. And you find that hole you made, insert, close it all the way up. It's usually pretty hard. So once that's closed, unscrew it, and boom. Now there's a thing in there to drill bolts through. Cool. That done. It's all there. It does support my weight. I'm going to use this right now to kind of hold on to all the big pieces of wood I still have here. So they're not flying around in the back here. But yeah. Super excited about that. And just in time for tomorrow's race. So tomorrow's the first time I'm gonna take this out of town to a race, see how that goes. I might even stay there tonight.
Nope.
All right, commentary time. So this is me trimming down the lip of the shower basin that I bought. It ended up being a little wider than I wanted, and every inch mattered, so I ended up chopping off about 2 inches. And then I just used the jigsaw, just try to make as slow and straight a cut as possible. And then the next day I got to work building the shower walls. So I started cutting down these 2x2s into the correct sizes, and you'll see a little bit later how I fit those all together, but just try to take that as slow as possible and then reinforce as many different joints as I could. So just finished it today. This is my shower area. So I've got the shower basin here. I put up these walls with some older plywood, and I bought some newer plywood for the side walls because these needed to be much more structural. How I did that was I got these 2x2s. I did 3 for each wall there. Put some of these support beams across, and then attached it to these roof furring strips, which I'm going to use for the ceiling eventually. But I was able to attach these up top to there. So I did the same thing on the other side. It's exactly the same. And this side is a little off, but it's double-sided, so that's pretty cool. So let's talk about the bed. So the bed is actually at the moment just being held up with, this is how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put one more of these here, but these are telescoping IKEA bedposts that took me forever to get the brackets for in the mail. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna put one more in the back there to really hold up that last part of the mattress that I have, and then get a big piece of like probably 1/2-inch plywood and make a platform for this to make it nice and sturdy. And then these are just being held on by boards I put across on the furring strips, and it's working out pretty well. And then behind here, this is just like a little cheap clothes dresser that I got, that I was using in the bus. It just flies around all the time. But I actually have my solar set up, so take a look at that. So as we talked about a long time ago, from when I put in that fan, then I added in the solar panel cables. That's going behind this subwall all the way through here and in to my charge controller. So currently the charge controller has a load, that's the fan. It has the solar panels, and then it has the battery. Sorry, the battery's in the middle, solar panels are here. So the battery that I have right now is just a cheap 100 amp hour battery I got from Walmart for like maybe like $200, something like that. But it's just something to get the job done for right now. So it'll power like this little fan for when I'm working in here. But eventually I'm either gonna grab 1 or 2 more of those and make a big battery bank, or save up for a really nice like 200 amp hour battery, probably from Renogy, because everything else I have is Renogy. Speaking of Renogy, this is Renogy, the solar panels are Renogy, the inverter that I have is Renogy, and this gives me 3 outlets that I could probably hook an adapter to, or of some sort, into there, and then a USB outlet, which is pretty cool. But that's all hooked up to the battery and is being constantly charged by the solar panels as long as it's in the sun. You can even see the, as long as it's not showing the front of the camera here, you can even see, so there's power coming in through the solar, going into the battery, and then also going into the load, which is the fan. So other than all of that, there's not a lot that's been done really to the van yet. Still, like, I just got around to putting the shower walls in. I still need to get some FRP sheets, cut those down, and then waterproof that whole area. So that shouldn't be too bad. done something similar to that. The FRP is going to be a much thinner than what I did last time, which was Curdy board foam boards. So that'll be a lot easier this time. Just stick on, screw in, and good to go. Then I have to finish out these walls on both sides to make it look nice. I'm gonna add in my kitchenette right here, and then eventually this is gonna be probably right here-ish would be where I put the intake for a gravity feed water system. So that I want to do a 6-inch diameter PVC pipe on top. Preferably black, because I think that'll help receive it somewhat warm in the sun. Although I'm finding that it kind of is negligible, but I'm still probably trying to get the bottom. It's crazy expensive. Like 4-inch for 10 feet is like $50, if that, and then the 6 inches is like $150. So it's a crazy price jump. I just need to bite the bullet on, probably when I get paid again. But my hope is to at least have this done in time for Montana Spartan race at the which I'll be leaving for at the end of the month. Other than all of that, I did finally get some license plates, but I still don't have the registration for it. I don't know why they didn't send that to me. So that's pretty cool. And then I've been making a huge old mess here in the garage, which I'm gonna clean up very shortly. My mother is very nice enough to let me move back in for a little bit while I'm still working on this crazy project. And the mullet's kind of coming in nice, so that's pretty cool. Well, we've hit a big snag with the shower. I just went to go drill some pilot holes down there. So I drilled this first one, and I went down underneath. I was like, huh, where's that hole? I drilled the second one, and then I measured. It's about a 3-inch wide hole that we need to be able to drill. And here's where I came out. All right, so that is the second hole. That was the one on the far left. And 3 inches over would run me right into this. So now I have to go in and detach all of this and move it over 1 inch. Okay, so I got this moved over about 1.5 inches. I think that's gonna be enough. I think I only needed 1 inch, but I decided to go full 1.5 inches. I was able to move the bed, no problem. So I think this is gonna work. Alright, so walls are back up, pretty sturdy. This fit in just barely, which is good because I don't want it to move ever. And now the hole that was on the far left side is pretty much in the middle. So this should give me enough room to cut a hole through and drain. see where that came out. Oh. Yeah. It was just enough room. You were doing something and then you put whatever you're doing down and then walk away from it and then forget where you put it down. That's happening right now. Alright, well, while getting this guy in there, just took a long time. I didn't even get the gasket on there. Still kind of a gap here, so I'm just gonna fill that up. And also, you can see, kind of, there's still some room between the bottom of the van and the bottom of that. So I'm gonna go down underneath and use some flex paint. Paint all that stuff to at least water seal it. And then I'm gonna fill the gap here. And eventually I'll have an actual drain thing that comes down further through. But for right now, that should work. Alright. Flex paint. Brush. Really good. Doing this on your back and upside down is fucking hard.
Try with me.